Welcome to episode 98 of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with your host, myself, Damon the Agent, coming to you today on Friday, April 5th, 2024. Well, I'm going to begin my show today different than I normally do, talking real estate, but I want to first highlight tomorrow I am having a free home buying seminar that's going to be in the Upper Marlboro Largo area at 10 a.m. For those of you who want to attend, the link is on my bio, on my social media pages, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook. If you click the link tree link in the bio, you can come to attend. I'm also going to give a spotlight today. One of my listings right here. This property right here is in DC. This is a fixer upper. This property is listed around 700,000. The price is negotiable. This one has an ARV of over $1 million, depending on if you're going to do condo conversion or if you're actually going to do a renovation with just straight with a house. Has a massive potential for those investors who are looking. This is in Upper Northwest, Columbia Heights, between Sherman Avenue between Sherman Avenue and Georgia Avenue in DC. So yeah, that's my house spotlight of today. And also again, tomorrow with the home buying seminar, I'm going to basically be talking about the entire home buying process, in which basically we're going to have a credit specialist there. She's going to be there to answer any and all when it pertains to credit, because sometimes people don't want to buy a home. They just want to improve their credit for whatever reason, maybe to get credit cards, maybe to get their interest rates lower, maybe to get a car. It's going to be a credit specialist there that you can speak with. She'll be happy to answer any and all questions. She's reputable. She's been doing my credit for approximately 10 years now. And when I say she is the bomb, she is the bomb. You just have to follow her instructions. Now, if you don't follow her instructions, you can't blame anyone but yourself. Also going to have a fantastic lender there, Ryan Panquin and his team. Ryan has been number 8 in the state of Maryland as far as programs are concerned. He's going to be there to explain all of the programs, the entire home buying process, to explain a lot of things that people may be wondering. Because, of course, we always know there's credit issues, but there's also financial issues for some people when it pertains to down payment and closing costs. He's going to be there to answer any and all questions. And we're going to have a home inspector there who's going to also explain how very important and vital it is to get a home inspection. Even when people buy homes, sometimes when people sell homes to say as is, even though the property is being sold as is, you always want to know what type of property you are inheriting. That's why it's always recommended to get a home inspection. Even during COVID, y'all, when people were making offers and were waiving their home inspection contingency, I still was getting people offers accepted, and you know what I'm saying, they still got a home inspection. So again, it's very important to have these questions answered for many people. So just come on out. It's free. It's going to be a continental breakfast. It's going to be some pizza and wings. And it's also going to be a gift card giveaway as well, too, afterwards. So come through. You know what I'm saying? Time is going to fly. We're going to have a good time. We're going to answer all your questions from beginning to end when it pertains to buying a home, whether it's in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia, or wherever. We're there to help. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the Largo area. You can find the link on my bio, in the bio on my Instagram, and also on my Facebook. Okay, coming back with the Q&A. We got 15 minutes to do all this because that's my time now. So I'm gonna come back with it. Give me 1 second. All right, this section right here is my Q&A, which is my questions and answers. And because I have more than 2, that's why I kind of went through that first segment real quick. So I'm going to begin with the Q&A. The first question is, who can use a VA loan? Who can use a VA loan? VA loan is a Veterans Administrative Loan. Who can use a VA loan? First of all, a VA loan is no money down. It's a non-down payment loan for veterans. And that means people who have served in the armed forces and veterans, and also who have been in the reserves, qualify to get the VA loans as well. Family members, children do not qualify for the VA loans. The children do not qualify. Spouses do not qualify for VA loans. But that's a good question. You can ask Ryan tomorrow. Second question: am I allowed to list my house through the MLS without an agent? Am I allowed to list my house through the MLS without an agent? The answer to that is no. You have people such as Zillow where people try to go on there to get the same exposure, but listing a house with an actual agent gives you all the exposure. Zillow gives you limited exposure. You can only list through the MLS through a real estate agent, broker, team player, team leader, something like that. But you cannot list a home through the MLS without a real estate professional. Period. Understand all the houses that you'll see on Zillow, Redfin, various websites. All of them are pulled from the MLS. So understand there are agents in mom and pop companies and big companies that enter. We all have to enter our homes in the MLS, and then they're syndicated on all these other websites that you actually see them on. They're not Redfin's listing, even though Redfin pushes its listings up to show you all first. All the listings on their website are not from them. The next question: what's a CMA? What's a CMA? A CMA is a comparative market analysis in which a home, the subject property, is being compared by similar like properties around it, normally within a mile radius or less. Normally they start with the subdivision, cul-de-sac. They try to focus on those, but if they cannot find properties in that particular area, they will go out as far as a mile radius. But it's a comparative market analysis of the subject property, in which is given a value of what the house could possibly sell for just based on the comparables in the area. The next question: when housing prices go down, does property taxes go down? When housing prices go down, does property taxes go down? That's a good question. The answer to that is no. If you go back to the year 2008, when the housing market crashed, back in that year, prices plummeted when it pertains to the value of homes. But unfortunately, taxes did not go down. And in many cases, some people weren't even paying attention, or they did not contest the taxes not going down. So taxes steadily rises up. What you have to take into consideration is that taxes for a lot of cities and counties are money makers. So they're going to continuously go up. They're not going to go down because the prices of housing have gone down. You can always contest them, yes, but will they go down because the house go down? No. The answer is no. Someone else said, how can I find the equity in my house? How can I find the equity in my house? That's a good question. You can either get an appraisal, or you can get what I just mentioned was a CMA from a local real estate agent. But most real estate agents are not going to just give you a CMA unless they just close to you or want to give you the information. So appraisal is normally how you find out the value. The value of how much equity you have in your home is going to be determined about the balance owed on the home and also how much the home is worth. So the difference between that is what your equity is. For example, if you owe $100,000 on your home and your house is worth $500,000, then the equity is $400,000, because that is the difference between what your house is worth and how much you owe on the house. So you find the equity in your house by knowing how much you owe on your house, and then also finding out how much your house will potentially sell for. In which, like I said, if you want the true value, you can always hire an appraiser, or if you hire a real estate professional, they can give you a CMA, what I just mentioned. The next question: what is clear to close? What is clear to close? That's a good question. That is when a buyer is buying a home and they go through the loan process and everything has been cleared to go to closing. For example, the appraisal has come in, value has been met, the buyer's financing, everything has been verified, and the loan has been officially approved by underwriting. Underwriting are the people who work for the mortgage company. So what is a clear to close? A clear to close meaning everything is good to go to closing, meaning we are clear to close. Like when people go to take off and the roadway is clear to take off, clear to close. When a person is buying a home and you're ready to go to closing. The next one is, why do you need 3 days to go to settlement after the clear to close? Why do you need 3 days to go to settlement after the clear to close? That's a good question. The reason that 3 days is now is given is back then, before the housing market crashed, there was a lot of fraud going on, a lot of misinformation. There were a lot of buyers who were showing up back then to a settlement in which they were blindsided by the numbers. They were told at the beginning when they first got approved, oh, you only have to bring, let's say, 10,000 to the table. Get to the table, find out you got to bring 17,000 because things weren't thoroughly explained to them by the lender. So now they put a guideline in place that the buyers need to have the buyer's disclosures at least 3 days prior to settlement. So for example, whatever date is on the contract, everything has to, the buyer has to have signed off on that disclosure at least 3 days prior to what's on the contract or to close it. It can be more than 3 days, but it has to be enough time the buyers are able to look at their numbers, feel comfortable with everything, and to compare what was told to them in the beginning compared to what they're actually seeing just before settlement. And one more question that just popped up is, why did you reduce your time from 60 minutes to 15 minutes? I reduced my time from 60 minutes of doing my podcast to 15 minutes because I have someone who analyzed my YouTube and analyzed my channels. And he explained to me that after about 15 to 20 minutes, most people fall off. So a lot of people are not sticking around. So I try to make sure. And then he also explained to me that in the world we live today, attention span of a lot of people are not as long. So I try to get straight to the point because I'm a bottom line type of person as well. So I'm trying to make sure I give you as much information in as little as possible as time so that you can have all the knowledge that you'll need. So that is why I'm coming back with my topic of the day, which is insecure people. All right. The topic is insecure people, y'all. That's a good topic. And insecure people, let's talk about them. Let me explain something. Insecure people can make things worse in your life without you even realize it. I can explain to you that being in this real estate world and just being a professional as I am, I have dealt with situations where, let's say hypothetically, let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, one of my lenders sent me an approved buyer, and I spoke to her on the phone. We went over everything. She told me the house she wanted to see. We went over all the logistics and everything. We did our buyer consultation over the phone. So when we actually went to see the property, when I explained to her, I'm pulling up in this car. She said, I'm sitting in this car. So when I got out the car, she was there. She got out the car with her, I think it was her boyfriend or fiance. I don't know. He sized me up. He looked me up and down. I stand 6'2". He probably was about 5'4". I don't know. But he sized me up and down. He looked at me. And I can tell, and anyone can tell when someone looks at you like with some type of animosity or hate towards you for no reason. So spoke to her, introduced myself, We went into the house. We went over the property. I answered questions. He was asking a lot of questions and everything. And then, we went over, we left and everything. The very next day, reached out to her. She explained to me her boyfriend didn't want her using me anymore. Did nothing. Everything was professional. I also heard it in my office from women who have dealt with guys. And then when the couple come together, the missus and the mister come together, the missus don't want him to use her anymore, especially if she's attracted. And I found in this world that we live in, we have so many insecure people who just look at things and they make a judgment based off the looks. And it really just goes down to a deeper root problem that something is really wrong with you as an insecure person. See, when you're secure with yourself, you don't care about anything else because you know who you are. Because truth be told, none of us can control anyone else outside of ourselves. We can't control our kids. We can beat them. We can yell at them, but you can't even control your own kids. Your own kids are going to be who they're going to be. Like, for example, there are many people who are in this world who end up being serial killers, rapists, pedophiles, and those kids were playing. And none of their parents thought that. And the point that I'm making is when people are insecure about who they are, they'll never understand how far they can go in this world. See, when you believe in you, when you have faith in you, the blessings always come out. Now, I found out later on in that situation that the person, they ended up getting a house, nothing compared to what I would have did. They ended up coming out of pocket way more than they would have did. And I found a lot of times that when it pertains to relationship, it's always somebody insecure a lot of times, but the people who are insecure a lot of times, they're not even married. They coupled up. And then in many cases that I found, because women are the ones who are dominated with buying out here, The man is insecure. His credit is bad. He doesn't make as much money as his girlfriend or wife or whatever. And he's insecure about himself. And a lot of times the insecurity is a deeper root. Sometimes people are insecure because of what they're doing wrong in their life. See, when you're not living right, it's going to show in your behavior. You're going to make speculations. You're going to make accusations. You're going to accuse people. And you're just going to feel like something is a threat to you, even when nothing is really threatening you. Sometimes you can walk into a room, people, and just because you showed up, people are going to hate on you. People are going to feel a certain type of way because people gravitate towards you and gravitate away from them because of their insecurities. So what you got to understand that in this world of insecure people that we are living in, we have to understand that you must remain secure in yourself in all that you do. Because truth be told, you're not going to be able to change people who they are, what they do. You can only reflect on you and what you can do. So to all the insecure people, which is AKA sometimes haters, you got to let them be, because their life is their punishment. Trust me when I say their life is their punishment. So let them be insecure, because as long as you're secure, you're going to always come out on top. So I just wanted to share that thought real quick about insecure people. Give me 1 second to come back with a recap. All right, people. My recap real quick is tomorrow I'm having a free home buying seminar in the Largo area. If you want to come through, check out the link in the bio. It's going to answer all the questions. We're going to have a credit specialist there, a fantastic lender there, a home inspector there, and I'm going to be there. We're going to go over the entire home buying process for everyone. So if you have any questions, please come through. Just register. We just ask that you register. That's it. And I'm going to answer quite a few Q&As. And I also want to just go back to insecure people. Listen, you can't stop the insecure people in your life. You can't stop them from thinking, making accusations, false accusations. You can't stop the insecure people from lying on you, but you always can be secure with yourself, knowing who you are. Because as long as you know who you are, it doesn't matter what they say or whatever. They're not going to be able to stop you. They're insecure people everywhere. They're liars. They're haters. They're finding a reason to say something bad about you. They do it all the time. We see it in sports. You know, they talk about Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, boxing. If the boxer loses, he's talked about by a person who's never been in a fight. So let the insecure people be. Just stay secure in who you are. Thank you all for joining me. Please follow me on all social media platforms. I will see you all I will see you all in 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks. I'm getting ready for my 100th show. This is my 98th show. I thank each and all one of you all for always joining me. I'll be back in 2 weeks, which will be on April the 19th. Hold on. Yep, April the 19th. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, follow me on all social media platforms, which is /Damon the Agent. And check the link out in my bios to come to the home buyer seminar tomorrow. I thank you all. Have a great weekend.